first ever Nerds of the Roundtable podcast, where we give you deep dives on all things nerdy. I'm your host, Evan Beecham, and I'm joined by...
My name is Lucas Watkins. I'm a nerd. I'm a diehard Marvel fan, and I've loved movies and TV shows since as long as I can remember.
I'm Jonathan Duckett. I'm a huge Marvel and Star Wars fan as well. I'm 22 years old. I've been a big fan ever since I can remember, so that's me.
I'm Joshua Reinhardt, aka Spidey in this group. I'm a huge Marvel fan. I've been a fan for years since I was a little kid, especially the Spider-Man Marvel universe. I've been a huge fan of that for years and know quite a bit of the Spider-Man comics as I was growing up and read a lot of them. So, and I also stream and am a Vivid Gamers, and I played the new PS4 game, and I'm here to talk about it.
I'm Dwayne, aka Spooter. That's all you need to know.
All right. And then in this episode, we're going to be talking about Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales. So to kick us off, Lucas, what do you think of this short form video game?
I mean, I love it. I mean, I love the last one. I played the crap out of it. I must have 100% of it at least 10 times within like the first 2-3 weeks of playing it. And I was really satisfied with this one. I definitely don't think it's like a sequel, but I think it's like a go-between between the first one and the sequel that is coming. And I loved every bit of it. I've been a diehard fan of Miles Morales Spider-Man since I first found out about him. And I thought this game was great. I thought I still like the combat style and everything, and like I really enjoyed the story, even though they changed a few things. So
that fighting was really awesome.
I mean, change is always good.
Oh yeah, and I mean you gotta set Miles Morales apart from Peter Parker in a universe where a lot of his villains are just associated with Peter. You gotta find something for Miles to have his own. And so I think them changing up the villain styles and characters are definitely, I think it helps Miles more so, especially with like Tinker. It makes it more relatable towards him, and they need that to push him as a character, that relatability.
I feel that with like with the Spider-Man universe, ever since they introduced the whole multiverse theory, it's just made it where no matter what design, whether it's original or it's the same design over and over again, you're always going to get something unique, because literally with the multi-dimensional theory, it's literally like one singular thing of the universe can be changed, and then you have a whole new thing completely. And
Yeah, it's like with
Miles was just one of the many multi-dimensional things.
It's like with Secret Empire, the whole concept of like Kathy and like Hydra agent. It changes the whole dynamic of the universe.
Exactly.
So yeah, I definitely agree with that. It really does change the whole thing. But overall, what do you guys think of like thematic wise? Because I really enjoyed like the web swinging and just being back in New York.
I love the effects, even though I didn't get to play it on PS5 yet. I love the effects. I've seen gameplay of the ray tracing and all that stuff, and you can even see like improved things with this game, like reflections and that sort of thing. They definitely improved on a lot of the graphics in this game. Evan, you might be able to tell more about that.
Even with the PS4 version, none of us have the PS5 yet because it's just at such a high demand. But with the PS4 version, the graphics are just so much better. And I'm playing on just the regular PS4 Slim, not even the Pro or anything.
Yeah.
And it's just such a improvement. I mean, the last one had HDR10 plus, and this one also has HDR10. But this one, for some reason, it just looks a whole lot smoother and just the
even like with
graphical improvements and everything.
the swinging
Yeah,
is just a whole different dynamic too, because like you see Peter Parker's training, but he has like that recklessness to it. Like there's a free form of it. He swings backwards. He like glides down, like free falling down, and he's just very loose with it. And it's I think that kind of even those subtle notes shows his differences from Peter Parker,
and
which
that's
I think
another
was
thing
very thing good to show.
Yeah, I really love the
compared to
transition from the tricks that you can do while swinging into to
right.
swinging again. Like I think it's just flawless how that kind of blends together with Miles' swinging style.
And when you
I
compare
love it.
this game, when you compare this game to Marvel's Avengers, which I haven't played yet, but y'all have, uh, you can tell like just the art of swinging in both the Spider-Man games, the 2018 Spider-Man and this Spider-Man. Swinging is just such an enjoyable thing, whereas like hovering as Tony Stark is not quite as fulfilling, you know?
Right, I could just kill time just swinging around New York,
Exactly.
seeing the buildings and everything, and not even doing the combat, and that's still enjoyable
Yeah,
for
I think
me.
Marvel Avengers needs to take a note from that too,
For
because
sure.
because I have so much trouble flying around as Tony Stark with the boosting going forward and trying to stop it. Sometimes it gets all mixed up. But like with the Spider-Man game, there's like it's very simplistic, but it's very elegant too. You don't get a
Right.
time where you hit the wrong button and it doesn't do what you want to do. You know, you can swing by tapping X. You don't have to press X. You can move around without moving your Joy-Con stick. There's so many ways to allow yourself to swing
Wait a
efficiently.
second. Are you playing this on Switch?
No, I'm playing this on. I didn't mean Joy-Con. I meant Switch. I corrected myself. You can't play Spider-Man on Switch. I wish.
Um, I also
Well, actually,
played.
Go ahead.
go ahead.
Um, so, being an old fan of Spider-Man as I was growing up, I played the first original Spider-Man game on the original Xbox many, many years ago. The Tobey Maguire Spider-Man for the first game of that. Whenever the movie was released years ago, and comparing that game, and I also played the PlayStation 2 or the PlayStation 1 Spider-Man 2 game with I believe it was Doctor Octopus in there. Or no, that was it was a different one.
Wait,
Different one.
hold on.
Go ahead.
So let's just go back. What is everybody's first Spider-Man game they've ever played? The first one I ever played was at Target. They used to sell these like $15 to $20 joysticks that you plugged in the RCA cables to your TV, and that was my first Spider-Man game I ever played.
My first one was on the PlayStation 1, Spider-Man 2, specifically.
All right.
See, I played the Spider-Man 2 one, so it was very old back in the day.
Right.
But I really enjoyed that. I mean, the swinging was a little bit less um,
Thrilling.
realistic. Yeah, well, realistic too. Like because you shot a web, it went straight into the air. You could be above the building, and it wouldn't matter.
Yeah, and that was the thing with the older Spider-Man games, and why this one was, or with the PlayStation 4 one, it was so different because before in the older games you would be swinging and everything, but your webs would shoot directly up, like you
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't attach to buildings or anything, and you could be way above the building and be swinging above them. But with
Yeah.
this one, with the whole you have to be near a surface to swing off it, and it just added so much to it because it made it more realistic to how Spider-Man would swing around the city and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because like there have been
I
times
bet.
where he uses his own momentum to like swing around the building. Like say you're coming up to like a block where it's got like a building that's like on a corner or something like that, like a corner of a
Yeah.
block on a corner.
It
Usually
turns there for you.
it he usually like if I could imagine Spider-Man swinging around this block, he would web the top corner of the building and then use his own momentum to swing around the building and then just continue swinging down the street.
Yeah, and the game shows that off really well.
It
Um,
does.
well, also too the villains, they showed those off really well. I really enjoyed fighting Rhino, kicking his butt a lot, and then also Prowler, Saint Prowler, very iconic Miles Morales character. I think we can all agree with that. Um, and then the Tinkerer, and this for people who don't know, this is not the normal Tinkerer from the comic books. This is a little bit different.
I really like this new Tinker. In the comics, um, we had the Phineas Mason,
Mm-hmm.
um, who was the main Tinkerer. He was a reoccurring Spider-Man villain, and I like kind of the twist on this to where it's actually one of Miles Morales' friends, and he has a long history with her.
Yeah, it really,
And
really
I
adds a
kind of
personal
like how they
connection.
changed that. And also something I remembered is uh, in the comics, Phineas Mason's son is Rick Mason, and in this, Rick Mason is her brother.
Yeah, so they
So
took
it's
that
like,
original story and just kind of twisted it, and I guess it made it more relevant for today for Miles himself. It made it his own
For
kind of
sure.
villain.
right. It
Sad
made
Yeah.
it way more personal for him too.
hmm Made it more sad to visit their graves in the game. But I really enjoyed that. Prowler for me, I really enjoyed. I didn't like how they did the reveal for Spider-Man to Prowler. Uh, I mean, for me, I always like to see. I liked how they did it into the Spider Verse, where he didn't know
Yeah.
his nephew was Spider-Man, and you get to see that full extent of how Prowler will go to get the job done and what he will do.
Yeah. And this one, it
So
was
that,
just so casual. He just met up with his uncle, and he was just like,
yeah,
"Hey."
I'm gonna have
he's like,
to disagree with you on it. I liked the way they did it, and and the Prowler, the character, he's so intelligent, and I think it makes total sense that he would have figured out that it was Miles. Um, and so I don't I think it totally makes sense. And we got
I,
to have the big reveal of Finn in it, and I think it was I enjoyed having it like that and going through the whole game
I don't know.
having the support of his uncle.
I'm more of a build-up kind of person. I like to build up that motion and that tension. Have that rising conflict and climax. So I guess that's just for me. But I mean, I understand that. I mean, like, why wouldn't he know who his nephew was, or see someone fighting and be like, I taught those moves. Like, those are my moves. I would know that. Um, but I mean, I can agree with you on that. I just feel like I like that rising conflict, that tension, and that the vibe between Miles' world and the Spider-Man world, and then
For
watching
sure.
them crash together. I would love to have seen that. Whereas it was just kind of seamlessly fluid for him when it came to his uncle. They were kind of one and the same. But that's me. That's my take on it. Also, too, something I haven't actually really thought of much too is Rhino alive? That's another thing. Because we see a sword getting lunged into his chest, and the next thing you know, we hear nothing about him. He's just gone, you know? They start fighting Finn and Miles, and we don't see much about Rhino anymore after that. So, like, is he dead? Is he alive? Um, how is his suit going to handle up in the future if he is alive, but, could be severely damaged because of venom bite, and then a huge sword slash in his chest, because I'm pretty sure it perforated a lung. So, that man must be on a
Uh,
ventilator.
I think he's alive for sure, but I
Oh,
don't think it's I definitely don't think they killed him. I think he's just gonna be real injured maybe. Um, and so
well, and then
I don't think we'll see him in the next game.
we
And
might,
that's
but
another
we might
thing.
see the
Like
aftermath, or we have
we,
questions.
we could see him in the next game, but we've also seen him in the past these two first games. But also, it's a comic book game, and what's the one thing that we all know about comic books?
No one ever
Play,
really dies.
people die and they come back. They die and they come back. That's just a constant reoccurrence.
Except for Aunt May, she ain't coming back.
Yeah,
Oh, dude, I still cried during that. Like, okay, so
same.
when I first played the PlayStation 4 Spider-Man game, and I was blown away by how amazing the game mechanics are for this, and it felt so fluid compared to the previous games that I played in my years, and I felt like I was Spider-Man. like I was able to dodge and weave around bullets and use objects around me to attack enemies with and everything. It wasn't just like back in the day when it was just like punch, punch, web, web. Just that was it. That was all you had. You couldn't
Yeah.
counterattack. You couldn't do anything. And with this, the web swinging was amazing. There was the cool little landmarks all through the city. You could actually walk on the streets instead of like you just falling to your death.
Yeah.
And whenever I played it and I finally got to the ending and I saw what happened to Aunt May, I think Lucas like walked in on me whenever I was experiencing having that moment. I was bawling. I was crying. I was so broken. I just couldn't believe it. It was just so traumatic for me because I had such
Whenever
a
I
good
got
connection to him.
whenever I got to that scene on the first game or on the 2018 Spider-Man, uh, I finished it at like 4 in the morning, and I just started bawling, and my wife was just like, "What? Why are you crying?" I was just like, "This is such an emotional game." She just rolled her eyes and went back to sleep. I was just like this game, it just sucks you in. You are Spider-Man. You are Peter Parker. You are experiencing these emotions. You've lost your parents whenever you were a young kid. You lost your Uncle Ben, and the 2018 Spider-Man didn't even like cover that stuff. Like, I think they may have said something about Uncle Ben here and there, but like the you never see that in the movies, the connection with Aunt May, quite as much as you see with Uncle Ben, because that actually had an impact on him. But now you're seeing uh, Spider-Man, Peter Parker, lose his entire family and then get MJ back, and like that whole storyline, that arc, it was just so beautifully written and acted out and directed and everything. It was amazing. And this game has a lot of similarities to that with the emotional pull it has on you. Uh, but it also has a lot of different things compared to the 2018 Spider-Man to Miles Morales. Uh, like, for one thing, on 2018 Spider-Man, on your wheel that you could choose your different powers and web shooters and everything, you had 8 options. This one you only had 4. Did y'all feel any like how'd y'all feel about that?
I was a little disappointed about it, but you have to think. I mean, it is a much shorter game, and it's not meant to be a full sequel. I don't
For sure.
think. So I mean, overall, I mean they're really good gadgets. So I like them, and really with having the camouflage and the venom powers, that sort of thing. I don't really think there was a need for all the gadgets.
Exactly. The
But
Venom powers really helped out with that.
yeah, I think as the original Peter Parker Spider-Man, like he gadgets is like that's a lot of his like personality put into him. Like he enjoys creating all these gadgets for himself, and that's not
And
really Miles' thing.
I
speaking of
like
creating
how
gadgets and everything, did y'all like the